Namaste. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Aparna. I am your emotional healing synergist. I am an Ayurvedic psychotherapist, a passionate infopreneur, edupreneur, and medical writer. In my pursuit of addressing, promoting, and propagating Ayurveda and psychotherapy globally, I conduct either I organize discussions on the related topics of Ayurveda, mental health, psychotherapy, or I myself talk on these subjects. So today I am back with another session of NLP, that is Neuro Linguistic Programming. This is part 2. In part 1, we had discussed what is NLP, where is it used, what are the applications of NLP, what are the benefits of NLP, and I have talked about some of the NLP strategies. So, here in this session, we are going through a quick recap of what is NLP and what are NLP techniques, how are they applied, with some of the case studies. I thought it would be good to present it with some of the case studies, so relevant case studies that I have seen in my career. So let's get started. So NLP, as I think we all know, must have known by now, that neuro linguistic programming is a psychological approach that focuses on the connection between neurological process, that is neuro, language, that is linguistic, and behavioral patterns learned through experience, that is programming. So, although NLP is often associated with therapy and personal development, it also found applications in fields such as business, sales, and communication. So, programming (NLP) is a psychological approach and a set of techniques and strategies. What does it aim? It just aims to understand and influence the relationship between the mind, language, and patterns of behavior. So it was developed in 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. So, NLP, this is just a quick recap of what we learned in the last session for people who missed the session. So, NLP suggests that our subjective experiences are influenced by how we perceive and interpret the world through our senses. So, it explores the patterns of thoughts, language, and behavior that can be modified and achieve specific goals and improve communication, personal development, and overall well being. So, the underlying principle of NLP is that by studying and modeling successful individuals, we can learn and replicate their effective strategies and behaviors. So, initially when NLP was started, this was the aim. So NLP, the underlying principle was, by studying and modeling successful individuals, we can learn and replicate their effective strategies and behaviors. NLP techniques involves analyzing, modifying the language we use, observing non-verbal cues, not only verbal, non-verbal cues, and understanding the impact of our beliefs and thought patterns on our experiences. So, after all this, like NLP, see, some common applications of NLP include some common communication skills. So communication skills, NLP provides tools for enhancing communication and improving rapport with others, both in personal and professional setup. So communication skills, these are all we have discussed. It is just a recap. Then business development. So personal, see, communication skills. NLP provides tools for enhancing communication and improving rapport with others, both in personal and professional settings. So, and the personal development part, NLP techniques can help individuals overcome limitations, set achievable goals, and develop strategies for personal growth. So this is also like therapy and counseling. NLP can also be used in therapy and counseling. That's the reason I have learned NLP and I am practicing NLP techniques for therapy and counseling. So NLP is often used in therapeutic settings to address issues such as phobias, anxiety, and trauma by changing patterns of thinking and behavior. So, and then business and sales. NLP can be applied in sales and negotiation to enhance persuasive skills and influence others effectively. So, and then coaching and leadership. NLP techniques are utilized in coaching and leadership training to help individuals achieve their potential and become more effective leaders. So, these are the generalized applications of NLP. It is important to note that while NLP has gained popularity and has been utilized in various fields, its scientific basis and empirical evidence are subjects of debate within the psychological community. Here, one point is some people or some psychologists believe that NLP is not scientifically evident. So it is you as it is used in application psychology, but it is not considered very scientifically relevant by some psychologists. But however, it is used extensively in therapy and counseling, in personal development, in coaching and leadership, in communication skills, because it has no harm to do, it has only good to do. So neuro linguistic programming offers several benefits when applied in counseling and psychotherapy. What do I do in counseling and psychotherapy? What why do I use? So improved communication and rapport. See, NLP techniques enhance the quality of communication between therapists and clients, leading to better rapport and understanding. By studying and utilizing language patterns, non-verbal cues, and sensory modalities, therapists can establish effective communication channels and build stronger therapeutic relationships. So, to build stronger therapeutic relationships, that is between a therapist and a client, and it enhancing the quality of communication between therapist and client, leading to a better rapport and understanding. So this is an application in psychotherapy. So, and behavior and belief change. So NLP provides a range of techniques to facilitate behavior and belief change. If you have to change the core belief of a person, I will give you examples later. So you might think that this is only theory, so I will explain it with examples. Let's go along first. So, NLP provides a range of techniques to facilitate behavior and belief change. So, therapists can employ techniques like reframing, anchoring, modeling to help clients shift their perspectives, overcome their limiting beliefs, and develop more adaptive behaviors. NLP interventions can support clients in creating positive and lasting changes in their lives. So, NLP provides a range of techniques, okay, majorly to change the behavior and beliefs. So, whatever I told now, reframing, anchoring, modeling, these are the NLP techniques that we adopt. So that we adapt. So emotional regulation and management. NLP offers strategies to help clients regulate and manage their emotions effectively. Techniques such as anchoring, visualization, and reprogramming patterns can assist in individuals in gaining control over their emotional states. We use NLP because it offers strategies and techniques to help clients regulate and manage their emotions effectively. Most of the clients come to us because uh, to manage their emotions effectively. So techniques such as anchoring, visualization, reprogramming patterns can assist individuals in gaining control over their emotional states. So, clients can learn to modify their responses to emotional triggers, reducing anxiety, stress, and other negative emotions. So, I always tell in my sessions that or discussions that we have no control over what happens in life, but we have all the control over how do we respond or how do we deal with what happens in our life. So this helps in dealing and learning to modify the responses, emotional triggers, reducing anxiety, stress, and other negative emotions. And enhanced self-awareness and self-discovery. NLP techniques encourage self-reflection and self-exploration. Clients can develop a deeper understanding of their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors through techniques like timeline therapy, parts integration, and perceptual positions. This self awareness fosters personal growth, insight, and empowers clients to make positive changes in their life. So, it enhances the self awareness and self discovery through NLP techniques and goal setting and motivation. After all this, NLP provides effective tools for goal setting and motivation. Techniques such as outcome specification, chunking, and creating well-formed outcomes enables clients to define their clear goals and develop strategies to achieve them. NLP interventions can enhance clients' motivation, focus, and commitment to their therapeutic goals. So NLP provides effective tools for goal setting and motivation. And then NLP helps in overcoming phobias and traumas. This is the most important part because clients come to me for different phobias and for traumas, that is post traumatic stress disorder or trauma. So NLP offers approaches for overcoming phobias and traumas. Techniques like the fast phobia cure and the rewind technique can help clients reprocess traumatic experiences, reduce the intensity of associated emotions, and eliminate phobic responses. NLP interventions can facilitate the resolution of past traumas and support clients in moving forward. Finally, empowerment and personal development. As in any other field, NLP fosters personal empowerment and development. Clients can learn to utilize their internal resources effectively, develop resilience, improve their overall well being. NLP techniques can enable individuals to tap into their strengths, enhance their confidence, and create positive changes in various areas of their life. So it's worth noting that NLP should be practiced by qualified professionals who have received appropriate training and supervision. Additionally, individual results may vary and effectiveness of NLP techniques may depend on various factors such as the client's readiness, therapeutic relationship, and specific presenting concerns. See, NLP should be practiced by qualified professionals, and it should be practiced under supervision prescription and supervision, and the results may vary. So from person to person, it is not that one, if the NLP technique works for one person in one case in one mental health condition, it does not mean that it always helps all the people in all the mental health conditions. So the results always vary, and the effectiveness of the NLP techniques always depends on the client's readiness also. It is not that if you go to a therapist, everything will be all right. It should be a collaborative approach from a therapist and the client. The willingness, the readiness from the client's side, and the therapeutic relationship and specific presenting concerns. So, what are the presenting concerns? That is also important. So, after this, as we always said, as we already said, proponents of NLP, also argue when we say that it has some every a skill or every system of medicine, when it has advantages, it also has drawbacks. And proponents who proposed NLP argue that its techniques such as reframing and anchoring and modeling can be beneficial in therapy. So these are the techniques that tell that what are these techniques. I will explain it in the session. These techniques aim to help individuals change their perception, beliefs, and behaviors. So everything which is concerned through this, like perception, beliefs, and behaviors, it is the skill which can be altered, which can be changed. So NLP techniques may be used alongside with other therapeutic modalities to enhance the effectiveness of the treatment. If I have to use NLP with another therapy like CBT or something, I can use, or if I have to use NLP with any other medications, or with the medication or therapeutic any other therapies, that can be used like an adjuvant NLP. So however, it is important to note that the scientific evidence supporting the effectiveness of NLP in psychotherapy is limited. Research studies on NLP have been inconclusive and often criticized for methodological flaws and lack of rigorous empirical support. So, NLP, as it is appreciated, it also has been criticized, for inconclusive methodologies. Sometimes, at times, but it is well developed now. So, while some individual may find NLP techniques helpful, the evidence based for its efficacy in a therapeutic context is currently insufficient. See, we have the proof of case studies, but they as they cannot be scientifically recorded like the percentage and all. So some people say that it is not evidence enough, or the efficacy or is cannot be measured. So this also has a criticism part. It is also open for criticism. So in the field of psychotherapy and counseling, evidence based approaches with a solid research foundation, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectal behavioral therapy, psychodynamic therapy, and other well established modalities, are commonly recommended. These approaches have been extensively researched and demonstrated effectiveness in treating a wide range of psychological conditions. So, it is essential for therapists and counselors to consider evidence based practices and rely on techniques and interventions that have undergone, serious scientific, scrutiny. But having said that, we also have Now currently we have many studies that show that NLP has a higher amount of efficacy. So when I talk about the advantages, I also thought that I should also talk about the drawbacks. Or if we appreciate a system, there are all, it is also open for a criticism. So we also have to talk about that. So, as I already said, there are many benefits of NLP. So, in psychotherapy, NLP can be applied in various ways to help individuals achieve their therapeutic goals. Here are some of the common applications of NLP in psychotherapy. Goal setting. So, NLP techniques can assist therapists and clients in clarifying and setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals. That is SMART. We call it as SMART, SMART. So, what NLP techniques do is it helps in achieving specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals. By creating well formed outcomes, clients can gain clarity and motivation to work towards desired changes. So, change techniques. NLP provides a range of techniques for facilitating personal change. So, for example, anchoring is a technique that associates a specific emotional state with a particular stimulus, allowing clients to access and anchor positive emotions during challenging situations. Other techniques, such as reframing, can help clients shift their perspectives and interpret experiences in a more empowering way. So, rapport building. NLP emphasizes the importance of rapport between the therapist and a client. So, techniques such as matching and mirroring, where the therapist subtly matches the client's nonverbal behavior, can help establish a strong therapeutic alliance and enhance communication. So, language patterns. NLP explores the use of language and its impact on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So, language, can you just believe that language can be used and its impact can be seen in our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors? So, therapists trained in NLP may utilize specific language patterns such as presuppositions or metaphors to facilitate change and promote client understanding and insight. So, next is phobia and trauma treatment, as I already said, and strategy elicitation and change. What we do is NLP models human thought processes and behaviors as strategies. So, the thought processes and behaviors in NLP are known as strategies, or modeled as strategies. Therapists can use NLP techniques to elicit and modify unhelpful strategies and replace them with more adaptive ones. These can be particularly useful in addressing issues such as limiting beliefs, unwanted habits, or problematic behaviors. So, next is, it is important to note, see, NLP, as I said, can be utilized as a tool in psychotherapy. Let's see some of the NLP techniques and parts integration. So NLP's parts integration technique can be helpful in resolving internal conflicts and or conflicting parts within the client. So conflict resolution also can be achieved through NLP. Therapists assist clients in identifying and understanding the different parts of themselves that may have conflicting desires or beliefs. By facilitating communication, negotiation, and integration between these parts, therapists can help clients achieve inner harmony and overcome inner conflicts. So NLP can also be used in achieving inner harmony and overcoming inner conflicts. And next is visualization and imagery. NLP techniques often incorporate visualization and imagery to promote healing and change. Have you people heard of vision board? That you just make a board of whatever you want to achieve, and you can paste some stickers, or you can just write down, or you can add some relevant images or pictures, and write your goals down, your personal goals, your professional goals, your emotional goals, everything. And these technique also uh, is mentioned. Visualization is also a technique in NLP. What visualization does is, when you constantly see what you want to achieve or visualize what you want to achieve, you take actions to get the desired outcome. So it helps you taking actions. And if you have smart goals, that is specific, measurable, all these smart goals, reliable smart goals, what I talked about previously, um, that can help you. The vision board can actually help you achieve, work towards your goal. So this is also a technique. Visualization and imagery is also a technique. People, they say that everything is come to real twice, once in your mind and once it is real. One, everything is manifested twice, once in your mind and once it is actual. So, therapists can guide clients to guided imagery exercises to create positive mental images. Here, in this case, I'm not talking about vision board, but I'm talking about, for specific mental ailments, some positive mental images, change unwanted behaviors, or overcome phobias. Visualization and imagery can engage the client's imagination and tap into their inner resources, fostering their positive therapeutic outcomes. So, what is the goal of psychotherapy? Is a positive therapeutic outcome. So, for that, we are using visualization and imagery technique as well. So, here are a few, case studies. So, I'm talking about case studies now. um, of NLP techniques. As till now, I spoke of, what are the applications, general applications, and how is it used in psychotherapy, and what is its aim. So now we are coming to some of the, I thought I have to give some of the case studies of NLP techniques. So, overcoming social anxiety. People come with us with social anxiety. They're anxious whenever they meet people. They can't, communicate with people or connect with people. Either it is personal or it is professional. So, we'll see a case study. We will name our client as Peacock. Peacock is a 25-year-old client who experiences significant social anxiety, making it difficult for her to engage in social interactions and build relationships. Always the problem does not have to be very complicated. It can be as simple as this. So, active NLP implementation. So, what we do? So, uh, we combine NLP techniques to help Peacock overcome her social anxiety. So, we ask her to start building rapport and establishing a safe and supportive therapeutic relationship. First, we find out that what is the exact problem. Like, why is Peacock not able to communicate, or why does Peacock have the social, anxiety issue. So then what we do is then we assist Peacock in reframing her negative beliefs about social situations, challenging distorted thoughts, and replacing them with more empowering perspectives. So, anchoring is used to help Peacock access a resourceful state of confidence. We use anchoring technique, to access a resourceful state of confidence. All this is done, anchoring also can be done in mirroring, and anchoring can be done in front of the mirror. In front of the mirror, you can just talk and um, you know and the therapist assists her in creating an anchor, such as a touch on her, see, associated with confidence state, to improve the confidence. This is done to improve the confidence of Peacock. During therapy sessions, the therapist triggers the anchor while exploring social scenarios, gradually building positive associations and reducing anxiety. Through visualization exercises, the therapist guides Peacock in visualizing successful social interactions and situations. This helps her build new mental maps and develop a sense of competence and ease in social settings. So, managing performance anxiety. So, what we do in performance anxiety? Suppose um, performance anxiety is, in the professional, aspect. Here, we have a client called Tiger. So, Tiger is a professional musician who experiences severe performance anxiety, impacting his ability to perform at his best during the concerts. So, he's a musician, but he has performance anxiety. So, what we do is we utilize NLP techniques to help Tiger manage his performance anxiety and enhance his stage performance. They start by establishing rapport and understanding the specific triggers. I will explain the NLP techniques as well. These are simple case studies I'm giving, that how, if you have these problems, you can approach a counselor or psychotherapist or a psychiatrist for a major mental health concern. So, for this, I am just giving some brief examples that these also can be managed through NLP. So, I will tell you the techniques, about the techniques as well, in this session if possible, or in the coming sessions. So, they start by establishing rapport and understanding the specific triggers and negative thought patterns associated with his anxiety. So, I'm just giving you a brief of how, what would be the action plan, because I feel it is necessary to be informative and transparent when it comes to mental health conditions as well. So, anchoring is employed to help Tiger access a state of calm and confidence before and during performances. The therapist assists him in creating an anchor, so such as, anchor is just, giving a sign that you're pinching your or pinching your hand, or you, that is a sign that you have to perform. Next time you get a performance anxiety or a social anxiety, it is a cue. Anchoring is generally a cue, to get into, to calm down that anxiety and to start performing or start interacting. So, associated, see, we do a cue. That is up to you, that what cue you select for that. And we have exercises, and every time go to the stage, you perform that cue. Either I am pinching my wrist now, like hand, and or folding the wrist, this thing. And Mike practices triggering the anchor during the therapy sessions and rehearsals to reinforce the association. So, the therapist guides Tiger through visualization exercises, helping him mentally rehearse successful performances and experience positive emotions associated with his music. They also work on reframing any negative beliefs or self doubts that may arise during the visualization process. So, anchoring and visualization, you might think, what is she talking about? This is briefly, I've told you what is anchoring and I've told you what is visualization. So, the most we make use in the simple mental health, simple issues are these. So, additionally, we ask, Tiger to regulate his breathing, manage physical sensations of anxiety, engage in positive self-talk. These strategies, combined with NLP techniques, contribute to reducing his performance anxiety and improving his stage presence. So, a case study on enhancing motivation and goal achievement. Clients also come to us of lack of motivation and they don't have any goals for themselves. They are blank and they're stuck. So, we have Pigeon. Pigeon is a client who struggles with low motivation and difficulty in achieving her goals, particularly related to her health and fitness. So, she here we are talking about a personal goal. Earlier we were talking of professional goal. Here we are talking of health and fitness. That is a personal goal. How do we actively implement NLP here? So, NLP techniques here we help her in enhancing her motivation and achieving skills. So, rapport and explores, Pigeon's values, desires, and barriers to change. So, what we do is we make Pigeon sit. I make Pigeon sit with me, and we discuss what does she want to achieve, what is her desire, her values, desires, and what are the barriers that are resisting the change. So, the therapist uses anchoring to help Pigeon access a state of motivation and determination. Every time she feels a lack of motivation, and again we give a sign or cue that helps us in self motivating her. They assist her in creating an anchor, such as squeezing her fist, associated with the highly motivated states. Then, Pigeon practices triggering the anchor whenever she feels a lack of motivation or faces challenges in pursuing her goals. Though timeline therapy, the therapist guides, Pigeon in revisiting the past successful experiences and aligning them with her future goals. See, when we start therapy, what we do is we combine both past failures and past successes. So, and aligning them, and particularly the past successes, because it helps motivate, and we align them to her future goals. This helps in creating a positive timeline and visualize a compelling future, enhancing her motivation and commitment. And this is a practice. In only one session or one thing will not help a Pigeon to be motivated and committed to her goals. This has to be a constant practice and a constant daily improvement with efforts, and right strategy. Through consistent efforts and right strategy. So, the therapist also utilizes language patterns and reframing techniques to help Sarah overcome limiting beliefs and negative self talk. By challenging and replacing these unhelpful patterns of thinking, Pigeon develops a more positive and empowering mindset. So, Though these are, hypothetical case studies, but these are actually hypothetical scenarios but proven case studies. So, and NLP techniques and positive application in the relevant case studies. Okay, so for this I think, what are the techniques? Anchoring, I already mentioned about anchoring. So we are discussing here some of the techniques of NLP with a case study or with an example. This is okay. Reframing. So what is reframing here? We have a client called um, Parrot. Parrot, a client, has a pessimistic outlook on life and tends to view challenges as insurmountable obstacles. We can call Parrot a cribbing guy, and he always has a pessimistic outlook. So his therapist utilizes reframing to help him shift his perspective. When Parrot shares a negative experience, his therapist guides him in exploring alternative interpretations. We help in don't think. Suppose you have an approach that this happened because of this happened because of this. What we do is we change that narrative, and why don't you think it is just an opportunity to learn, or it is a lesson for you? We change the perspective. Changing the perspective is called reframing of the thoughts. Here, reframing means reframing of the thoughts. The word itself is self explanatory. They discuss the potential lessons or growth opportunities that the situation might offer. By reframing his experiences, Parrot gradually develops a more positive and resilient mindset, enabling him to approach challenges with a greater optimism and adaptability. So, in Parrot's case, it is a constant practice. See, the reframing of the thoughts and reframing of the interpretations is a persistent practice, consistent efforts with the right strategy. So, whenever Parrot has that, we do that. In this way, this is called reframing. Reframing the thoughts, reframing the ideologies, reframing what we perceive. So, what is modeling? Next is modeling. So, let's consider, um, you know, Crow. Crow as a client is struggling with low self esteem, and lacks assertiveness in personal relationships. Her therapist introduces the concept of modeling and helps her identify individuals who display confidence and assertiveness. Modeling is nothing but considering a role model and trying to copy, not in terms of copying in terms of the confidence or the specific problem. If you're you want to model a person on the business strategies, you just take the business strategies to model the business strategy. Here we are modeling the confidence. So helps her identify individuals who display confidence and assertiveness, to select a role model whom she thinks has confidence and is assertive. So then what we do, then Crow selects a role model and engages in exercises to observe and mimic their behaviors, communication style, and self beliefs. Over time, through modeling and practice, Emily begins to embody greater confidence and assertiveness, positively impacting her relationships and self perception. See, modeling is, some may consider it is not a very practical approach, but modeling, as far as I have seen, has helped a lot of people at least to, move a step forward. It is not it is not just copying a person, it is copying a specific thing. In her case, it is confidence and assertiveness. Then meta model. So these are some of the techniques, some techniques of NLP, such as anchoring. We have talked about anchoring, we have talked about visualization, we have talked about reframing, we have talked about modeling. So these techniques we have talked about in this session. So in the next session, I will talk about some more techniques of some more techniques of NLP and how do we use it in psychotherapy. And if you have enjoyed the session, and if you have stayed tuned and enjoyed the session, thank you for staying tuned, and that's it for today. I'll be back with another session soon, and all my consultations are online. You can DM me for consultation and or trainings or webinars or any medical writing in related queries. So I will give my email ID as well. You can mail me any queries. If you have any topics that in mind that you want me to talk about, you can just mention that in the comment section as well. So thank you for today. Namaste.